Have you ever lain next to someone but felt as if you were alone in a cold desert? Not because they are silent, but because their very presence makes you feel like you are disappearing day by day. To love, but no longer be seen. To care, but no one listens. The eyes that were once gentle now remain only with indifference, coldness. The hands that once held tightly now loosen, unfamiliar, and you begin to doubt yourself. Where did I go wrong? Am I not good enough, or has this love ended? There are people living in a marriage where every morning waking up feels like a countdown to the day of collapse. No arguments, no clear break, but it is a kind of slow, smoldering death. You are exhausted, but do not dare to let go. You are in pain, but still must smile. For the children, for the family, for fear of being judged, or simply because you still love. But that love now is only like an open wound, impossible to heal. Every time touched is another stabbing pain straight to the heart. You once thought you were strong, but now you are merely existing, no longer living. You hear the scream of your own soul in the silence. You feel like you are slowly dying inside a relationship that was once your whole world, and yet no one knows. Why does the more you love, the more you suffer? Could there be a secret that can save a marriage on the verge of death? If you have ever collapsed in love, do not leave this video, because right after this, you will know the real reason why your heart broke and the path to revive it. Pain in love is not only when you are betrayed, but also when you are still in the relationship, but your heart has long been broken. There are people who live under the same roof, but their souls are drifting thousands of miles apart. Love becomes a habit, marriage becomes a binding, and you become a prisoner in your own home. Sometimes, the pain of love is not loud arguments, not harsh words, but the suffocating silence that makes you feel invisible. That is the most frightening feeling. To still be there, but no one sees you anymore. To still love, but love has become meaningless. You look at the one you once considered your whole world, but now you only see indifference. You want to speak, but your words get stuck in your throat because you know they no longer care to listen. You want to cry, but the tears fall back inside because you are too tired to explain. Love once gave you wings, now makes you feel broken. Marriage once gave you security, now becomes a burden that weighs on your heart every day. But here is the truth. The more you love, the more you suffer. Not because love is cruel, but because you gave too much of yourself to the wrong place. You forgot that before loving another, you must know how to love yourself. When you depend too much on someone, you hand them the power to destroy you. When love begins, everything seems perfect. We give all of ourselves, believing that as long as we are sincere, love will last forever. But sincerity alone is not enough. Love is not only giving, but also balance. You suffer because you put your happiness entirely in the hands of another. You measure your worth by their attitude, their eyes, their words. When they are warm, you are joyful. When they are cold, you collapse. Your entire emotional life depends on someone else. That is why, the more you love, the more you suffer. Because you lost yourself in that love. You thought that sacrificing everything is love, but in truth, that is dependence. And dependence always brings pain. The problem is not that you love too much, but that you love without wisdom, love without boundaries, love forgetting yourself, love turning yourself into a shadow of another person. And until you awaken, you will still repeat the same mistakes. Love passionately, hurt deeply, and continue to seek healing in the wrong place. Perhaps you think that loving more is the solution, that being more patient will make your marriage heal. But in fact, sometimes the more you give, the further they drift away. Not because you are not good enough, but because you gave without understanding. Love is not a battlefield where one person sacrifices everything and the other receives everything. If only one side tries, love will become an unbalanced weight that slowly crushes both. Think about it. You try to hold tight, But the more you hold, the more love slips away. You try to change yourself, but the more you change, the more you lose yourself. You think that endurance is proof of love, but in truth, it is a slow self-destruction. The more you love blindly, the more you hurt yourself. The more you tolerate endlessly, the more you push the other away. Because people do not cherish what is too easily obtained. And sometimes, the best way to save a relationship is not to hold tighter, but to know when to let go. Loneliness in love is one of the most indescribable pains, and it often comes when you feel like you are the only one left in the relationship. That feeling of sitting next to the one you love, but as if a stranger, only silence and an invisible distance left between two hearts. Every conversation seems to have no connection point. Eyes no longer find each other, handholds no longer warm as before. But you do not dare to leave, because a part of you still believes that love will heal everything. You try, you hope, but the more you hope, the more you love, the more you feel you are left alone in that relationship. When the one you love no longer puts their soul into the shared life of two people, when feelings fade away, loneliness does not only come from the lack of care, but from the sense that you are no longer a priority in their life. You see yourself giving everything, entrusting your heart into a relationship, but what you receive back is only coldness, is the invisible emptiness that is growing larger. You love, but that love is carried only by you. And maybe they are weary, maybe they no longer have the strength to love, maybe they have stopped long ago, but you still hope, still wait, still quietly love blindly. And each time that person does not return, you hurt again. That pain is not of the body, but is despair soaking into your soul. They do not love you the way you love them. They do not need you the way you need them. And in that opposition, you do not realize that you placed yourself in a position that the other can never reach. You gave them too large a piece of your heart, but you did not keep for yourself what is necessary to heal. Every time love is not answered, every time hope breaks, you feel even lonelier in that very relationship. And then you begin to ask, why do I feel lonely? Why has my love become such a burden? The answer is simple but extremely painful, because you gave too much without receiving enough. Loneliness in love is not when you have no one beside you. It is the feeling that you cannot find yourself in that love. You have focused too much on the other, on pleasing them, on giving, but forgot yourself. Love can be a journey, but if you walk it alone, that journey becomes tiring and meaningless. A person can love to the point of forgetting themselves, but if that person is not loved back, you will never find happiness. And then you turn yourself into their shadow, withering in a one-sided love without realizing that it is the dependence on that love that made you lose yourself. Do not let yourself become a puppet in the hands of another. Do not let the other have the power to control your emotions. A relationship is the meeting of two souls, not a struggle. If you love someone and they do not love you back, stop. Do not let your heart continue to bleed. Love must come from both sides, not from one side pouring everything in without receiving back. You deserve to be loved, deserve to receive what you give, and deserve a love that does not hurt you every day. Remember, loneliness in love is not because you lack affection, but because you placed all hope and faith in someone who cannot answer it. Love cannot save a relationship when one of the two no longer has enough mind to care for each other. And when you feel lonely in a relationship, it is a sign that you need to look back at yourself. Do not continue to seek salvation from another. It is you who must save yourself, find strength within, and learn to love yourself before loving another. Pause 1 second to think about this. Love is not to sacrifice everything to keep the other. Love must be appreciation, must be mutual nurturing, must be where both feel safe, happy. Do not let yourself continue to live in a relationship that hurts you. Step into the light, find joy in yourself again, and then true love will find you. Because you deserve to have a love that does not make you feel lonely. The pain of love, of an incomplete relationship, sometimes makes us feel as if the whole world is collapsing, as if no one can save that wounded heart. The powerful waves of emotions, the long weary nights, the bitter tears that cannot fully express the heart. There are moments when you think you have lost everything, nothing left to hold on to, no more strength to fight. But deep within that despair, there is something important you must remember. Sometimes you cannot save a marriage, but you can absolutely save yourself. And from that, love will be reborn. Yes, love does not die. It is only waiting for you to finish a certain lesson. The broken relationships, the old wounds, may only be a sign of a turning point in your life. You have loved, you have given everything. But now it is time you must receive, not from the other, but from yourself. Remember, true love begins from loving yourself first, from caring for your soul, from learning how to stand up from wounds and heal yourself. Love cannot be reborn if you keep drowning in pain, in questions about why no one loves you deeply enough. You must be the one to heal your wound before asking someone else to do it. This life is not always as we expect. There are relationships that cannot be saved. There are hearts that cannot be revived as before. But if you keep chasing after things that are gone, you will never see the new opportunities waiting ahead. Love, like everything else in life, can be a journey. And in that journey, you must learn to let go of things no longer suitable for you. Not because you no longer love, but because you understand that to love unconditionally, to love blindly, will only make you continue to sink in suffering. When you are awakened enough, when you understand that every relationship has its reason, every encounter can be a lesson, you will no longer hurt because of love. Because then, you will know how to love without pain. At that time, love will no longer be a burden, not a battle to hold tight things that do not belong to you, but a sincere giving and receiving of what is truly deserving. Awakening does not come from waiting for a perfect love or a perfect person. It comes from realizing that you are strong enough to stand firm on your own feet, that you deserve to be loved just as you are, and that you do not need to sacrifice yourself to hold a fading relationship. Let love return to you naturally, from the change within. Learn to love yourself more, so that when love comes, you will no longer be hurt, but will live in peace, in the freedom of yourself. True love will be reborn when you are strong enough to let go of relationships no longer suitable, when you begin to see everything with an open heart, without the burden of control or unreasonable expectations. And in that freedom, love will return, not as a burden, but as a gift you deserve to receive. Therefore, do not let wounds make you forget your own worth. Do not let heart wounds make you live forever in darkness. Learn to love in awareness, love without fearing pain, love without pouring all of your heart into someone, while forgetting to love yourself. When you are awakened enough, you will know how to love without pain. And from that very love, you will feel yourself reborn, and love too will be reborn in a way you never imagined. Remember, love does not die. It only waits for you to grow to understand it truly. If you are feeling your heart bleeding because of love, if heart wounds never fade, if you are in despair in a marriage, not knowing how to save it, then do not leave this video. I want you to stay, to share these feelings, because in those moments, you are not alone. If you feel you cannot go on, do not keep everything inside. Let your sorrows be released. Your story deserves to be heard. You deserve a space to express. Share your story right in the comment section, because maybe within it, there are things you never shared with anyone that may help you find the way to overcome. Do not keep this pain only for yourself, because while you are suffering, maybe there is someone else feeling the same as you, and together we can help each other overcome. If you feel you are losing all hope in love, in marriage, then I invite you to leave one sentence. I am learning how to love again, starting from myself. That sharing is not only a commitment, but is a beginning. It is an affirmation that you are ready to change, ready to heal wounds, ready to love yourself before loving another. That is the very first step, the courage to begin the journey of rebirth, not only of love, but also of yourself. You may not clearly see the path right now, but each small step you take, each change from within, will bring you closer to a life of peace, full of love and understanding. Do not let love be pain. Do not let your marriage become a weary, forced relationship. Leave a commitment that you are learning how to love again, and believe that when you change from within, love will also be reborn in a way you never thought of. Because a life without love is an empty life. But that love must begin from yourself. And you deserve complete love, not things that make you suffer. Begin from yourself, so that when you look back, you will see love has returned to you as a reward for your perseverance, your growth, and your determination. Goodbye to you, and thank you for accompanying me throughout this journey. I hope these sharings have touched your heart, helped you find a little light in the dark nights of pain, and found the way to love yourself again. If you feel these stories are meaningful, do not forget to subscribe to Flowers of the Way channel to continue receiving deep, touching, and inspiring videos about life, love, and spiritual lessons. The channel will always accompany you on the journey of healing and transformation. Let us together explore more lessons that help you live peacefully, find serenity inside, and rekindle love in every step. Do not forget to press like. Share this video to spread the message to those you cherish. I wish you always find peace within yourself. And remember, love is not something far away. It begins from your own heart. See you again in the next videos.